morning and welcome to this edition of News Leader on 6. Today is Tuesday, August 21st, 2018. I'm Jim Fuller.
And I'm Andrew Todd. In tonight's news, U.S. Senate candidate Phil Bredesen was in Tullahoma last week. The Tullahoma Board of Mayor and Aldermen approved the purchase of a new fire engine. And we'll have more on Olympic swimmer Kara Lynn Joyce, and we'll continue with Tom Corrington's interview with Sherry Zimmerman, who is the director of Tullahoma High School's Technical Resource Program. We'll have all these stories and more on tonight's News Leader on 6.
At the time, maybe you were just building a bridge, a business, or a community. Maybe you were simply working for a home or a better tomorrow. At the time, you served out of duty and love of country. But in that time, we see a legacy created, an American dream lived. Don't let illness or injury slow you down. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live well.
Mayor Lane Curley is challenging Tullahoma area citizens to join him and walk the Appalachian Trail. And you don't even have to leave Tullahoma. You can get fit this fall by putting one foot in front of the other and walk the Appalachian Trail. You'll win prizes, get weekly fitness tips, and enjoy fun weekly walks with area personalities. You'll feel great getting fit. We want businesses, churches, families, and friends to form a team and join our walk along the Appalachian Trail. Starts September 4th, ends October 15th.
Russell's got your truck, man. Russell's got your truck.
Keith Barnett here at the Russell Barnett Automotive family, and we have sold so many new trucks. We've got over 100 pre-owned trucks to choose from. Any make, any size, any model. It's as easy as going to russellbarnett.com to check out our pre-owned truck inventory. And remember, why buy your next truck anywhere else?
With the best selection anywhere, Russell's got your truck, man.
Welcome back. Former Tennessee Governor and current U.S. Senate candidate Phil Bredesen was in Tullahoma last Thursday. Governor Bredesen was greeted by a group of about 150 Coffee County supporters at Lakewood Country Club in Tullahoma, who paid between $100 and $1,000 per couple to meet the candidate for the U.S. Senate seat being vacated by retiring Senator Bob Corker. In a brief speech to the group, Bredesen spoke about his family and his life growing up in a small Tennessee community. He also talked about his bipartisan approach to problem solving and pledged to always do what was best for Tennessee. Bredesen is opposed in the November election by Republican Congresswoman Marsha Blackburn. Recent polls have shown Bredesen with a slight lead. However, most political pundits agree this will be a very tight race.
The Tullahoma Wildcats opened their 2018 season last Thursday night at Wilkins Stadium in Tullahoma. The results weren't exactly what the Cats had hoped for, as they dropped a 31-13 decision to the Golden Eagles in a game that was delayed at one point for 90 minutes due to lightning in the area. News Leader's John Gray spoke with head coach John Olive about the game.
Played Shelbyville. Coach Palmer and his group whipped us pretty good, 31-13, and I think as you watch the video, you'll see some good effort on our side of the ball. We didn't execute very good, but hats off to Shelbyville because they did. Their offensive line, I thought, played really well. Their linebackers were physical and active.
Yes.
And then their skill players.
Number 4, folks, look at number 4 and number 6.
Both those young men are very, very good. Trammell at quarterback, I think he set a state record against us last year throwing the football. This year, their offensive line was better, and they didn't have to throw it as much because he was still pretty accurate in his throwing as well. Very good operator. And so, but as I told our young men, I said, it's water over the dam, but we can learn from it. The question is how much better are we going to be as a football team next Friday when we host another rival, and this time it'll be Coffee County.
Coffee County, and that'll be here. That's a coffee pot game, so be exciting.
It's a young season, and we've got a lot of players that have played now for 2 years already, and some of them even got to play as freshmen 3 years ago. So not going to push the panic button. We know what we got to do to get better. And
we're not very big.
We're not, and we have some big freshmen. There were a couple of them that got to play the other night. As we go through this season, there'll probably be a few more freshmen that get to play, especially in the line areas and possibly one or two skill areas as well.
The Tullahoma Board of Mayor and Aldermen approved the purchase of a new fire engine at last week's board meeting. Fire Chief Richard Chastain tells us more.
We've had some aging equipment. We've replaced some of it along the way, and this is just one more in the cycle of replacement for a fire engine. And we expect this a little bit different this time. During our recent ISO inspection, they want us to have 3,500 gallons of water per minute within the first 8 minutes. Right now, we have to take 3 trucks to do that. Each truck does about 1,500, so it takes 3 to reach 35. So we spec this one with a 2,000 gallon per minute pump. So now we can make that with just 2 pumpers. We're not stretching our people so thin. So it's going to make a huge difference in our response capabilities. Once we arrive, we'll have more people that can work instead of 3 people being tied up driving. Yeah. So it's going to be a good thing for us.
Yeah. Good report. Yeah. Yes, sir.
How does it fit within the budget?
It's coming from the bond issue. So the money is available. Or 90% of it's coming from the bond issue. Part of it's coming from Mr. Chastain's salaries, I recall.
Whatever I need to do, Mayor.
Team player. Thank you, Mr. Chastain.
Thank you.
Ready to vote? All those wishing to vote for item number 18-124, vote green, opposed, vote red. Motion passes 6-0. Congratulations, Mr. Chastain.
We'll be right back after these messages.
My wife Jackie has always been the life of the party, but things changed when she couldn't be as active anymore.
They told me I needed a double knee replacement.
It's not as big a deal as it used to be, but she still needed to go to rehab.
I was amazed at how good the therapists were at Life Care. They took really good care of me.
They took excellent care of her, and now she's back doing the things she loves, and that makes everyone happy.
Life Care Center of Tullahoma wants you to get active and live well.
100 vehicles under $15,000 at 5 locations, both Tullahoma and Winchester. Keith Barnett here at the Russell Barnett Automotive family, and new car sales have been so great. We have a huge selection of pre-owned inventory. Do you have a trade? Maximum trade allowance going on right now. 100 vehicles under $15,000, maximum trade-in allowance. Best website in the business at russellbarnett.com. And remember, why buy anywhere else?
Cool off at Southern Middle Tennessee's newest water park, Tullahoma's Splash Island. Fun for all ages. 3 25-foot water slides, lazy river, fun water features for toddlers, tasty food items available. All this and more, only $5 from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. or 4 to 9 p.m. Sundays, 1 to 6. Join the fun at Tullahoma's Splash Island.
Welcome back. In this segment of our series on Carol Ann Joyce, U.S. Olympic swimmer who was in Tullahoma last week, she speaks about qualifying and competing in 3 Olympic Games.
So 4 years later, I went back to Olympic trials. I walked in, I was taller, I was stronger, I was faster, and I was like, you know what? I know this meet is 7 days long. I know that my best event comes on the last day. I know every day there's gonna be amazing things happening, but I'm gonna worry about what's in between my 2 lane lines. That's where my energy's gonna go. And the first event that I swam was the 100 freestyle, and I got first place. I made the Olympics when I was 18. And when you make the Olympics in the 100 free, you actually make it in 3 events because you get to swim the 400 freestyle and the 400 medley relay in addition to the individual 100 free. So that was a big ticket. My dad was like, you know, if we're gonna spend all this money to go to Greece and she's only got a 50 free. No, Dad, I made 3 events, so you can come to Greece. So a couple days after the 100 free, I swam the 50 free and I got second. So I ended up making 4 events at my first Olympics. I had to get a passport, I had to go to Greece, and you know, at 18 years old, your parents don't go to the Olympics with you. Like, you go as a part of Team USA, they go separately. And I was like so eager to get on the plane. I was like, bye. And they were like, don't lose stuff. Can you make sure you call us? And I'm like, yeah, bye. Got there, lost my passport, lost my cell phone, lost my luggage, lost everything I could have lost. You know, 18, first time really out of the country. But somehow I managed to show up behind the blocks when it was my time to race. thank goodness. And I brought home 2 silver medals from the 2004 Olympics, one of them that you'll see tonight, and I brought home 2 5th place finishes individually, and I went all best times. After that, I decided the Olympics were the coolest thing ever, and I wanted to go back, and I worked really hard for another 4 years, attended college at the University of Georgia, had an incredible college experience. I absolutely loved college swimming, and in 2008, I was very fortunate to qualify for the Olympics again. I went to Beijing, and I brought home 2 more silvers and a 6th place finish. Again, I went all best times. So happy with it. After that, I was 22, and I was like, well, shoot, what does one do when they are 22 and they've done the thing that they've always wanted to do their whole life? Like, what do I do now? And just like all of you guys that are training, all of you guys that are swimming, you have this fire, and it's burning inside of you, and you don't know how good you're gonna be, and you wanna feed that fire, and that's why you go to practice, that's why you go to meets, and you work hard, and you race, because you don't know what your limit is, and you're trying to test that. And at 22, I still felt that fire. I was like, I think I can be better. I think I still have something left in me. And at the time, there was only, I think, 4 or 5 women that had ever competed in 3 Olympic Games. And I was like, I'll be darned, I'm gonna be number 6. And the journey from 2008 to 2012, from 22 to 26 years old, wasn't easy. As you get older, I look back, I'm like, oh, that's so old. Not really. But as you get older, your body does not recover the way it once did. You know, even from ages of 18 to 22, it starts to change. And you know, I struggled with back injuries. I struggled with finding the right program to train an old lady. I struggled with a lot of different things. But in 2012, I showed up to Olympic trials, and I walked in, and I was like, okay, 7 days. Best event is on the last day. Focus on my 2 lane lines. Let's see how this goes. The first event that I swam was the 100 freestyle, and I got 22nd place. Not really how I wanted to start out the meet. It's an event that I've won at that meet before, and I got 22nd. And I went back to my hotel, and I was like, okay, not ideal, but also I've been swimming long enough, and I know that one bad swim is not gonna determine how the rest of my meet goes. One bad swim is one bad swim, and it's over. And I have the ability right now to turn that around. So a couple days later, I swam my 50 free, and I qualified for semifinals, top 16. I swam semifinals, and I qualified for finals, top 8. And the next day, I got the opportunity to swim in finals. So I feel really good. I feel, you know, you worked hard for this, Kara. You owe yourself this moment. Just make it your best race. It's a 50 free, come on. So I got on the blocks, and I dove in. Swam my 50 free, kicking and pulling as hard as I could down the pool. And I touched the wall, and I looked up, and I got 2nd place, and I made my 3rd Olympic team.
After her 3rd Olympic Games, Kara Lynn Joyce founded the Lead Sports Summit, a program for teenage girl swimmers that takes place every year in the Atlanta area.
After the London Olympics, I actually officially did retire, and I started the Lead Sports Summit. And the Lead Sports Summit is for teenage girl swimmers, and it's a 4-day summit. We host it once a year. It's in Atlanta, Georgia. And we empower young girls. We bring in 6 female Olympic champions. We bring in a nutritionist, a confidence coach, a sports psychologist, a leadership specialist, and we have a lot of fun. And it's coming up in like 3 weeks, so I'm like not sleeping right now, getting excited. But we have 126 girls coming, and that's really, that's the greatest gift, I think. You know, I always say that the best gift that swimming gave me, it's not the records, it's not the medals, it's the people. The amazing people that you get to meet along the way. And for me now, like I get to meet a whole new crop of people every single year, and hopefully have an impact on their lives. So that's the greatest gift of all. But that's kind of my story. That's how I got here today. And if you want to hear more about it or watch more about it, those of you that weren't at the movie last night, there's a documentary that came out, and it's called Touch the Wall, and it's on iTunes, I think, and somewhere. If you Google Touch the Wall, you'll find it. But it's a documentary that follows my journey alongside Missy Franklin to the 2012 Olympics. But yeah, so I wanted to open it up to questions today. Parents, swimmers, neighbors, anything you guys have ever wanted to ask an Olympic swimmer, today's your chance. So thank you.
We'll be right back with more News Leader on 6.
I'm Philip Bourne, Stanley McNabb Detail Shop Manager. Here are a few things our customers have to say about our service.
I always recommend Stanley McNabb Detail Shop to all of my friends. I'm always so impressed by how quickly they can return your vehicle back to you. It's always spotless, and I'm always very impressed.
Spotless, clean. I was really amazed.
It looks like a brand new car when I get it back.
We have several different packages and individual services to get your vehicle looking like new again. We're located just behind Stanley McNabb Chevrolet dealership. Call today, schedule an appointment, and see what a difference our detail can make.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Tullahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Welcome back. Tom Corrington spoke with Dr. Sherry Zimmerman from Tullahoma High School about the school's Career Technical Education program.
Our guest today, folks, is Dr. Sherry Zimmerman, who is the newly appointed Director of Career Technical Education excuse me, at Tullahoma High. We've been talking about what's presently going on, what the fields are that she is covering, and working to prepare the students for, if you will, workforce readiness. So let's talk about a couple more aspects of what you're up to. It's been mentioned that one thing that you in particular are going to be devoting some energy to, and that is researching the needs out there, the future needs, trying to stay a jump ahead so that you can alter your training to meet what's coming up. So talk a little about that.
One of the biggest ways that we find we try to gauge trends, future trends, or community needs is through our advisory councils. Each of our career tech teachers has an advisory council, which is usually folks from business and industry and education, such as Motlow or the career tech schools. And they work together with our career tech teachers to try to decide kind of see the future, what's coming, what do we need ahead of time, what do we need to know ahead of time so that we can prepare students for that. So that's one way that community members and industry and business can be involved with CTE, is to be part of those advisory committees. We have a meeting usually once in the fall and once in the spring. And then we also get data from the state, and I am so new at this that I don't really have that data in my head, but we do. What we do is data driven, in that we get information from the state on career types, job openings, and so we kind of feed all that in together, and as a department and with district and local administration, try to decide what's coming and what we can help prepare students for, so that they're ready to go out into the workforce right away.
Yeah, that's, well, I'm not sure we mentioned that earlier. Going out into the workforce right away, maybe we could drop back and touch on that a bit, and that is preparing the students who may not really have a very good understanding of what it means to be in the workplace. Teach them the basic requirements. Talk a little about that.
The best or a good example of that is our certified nursing assistant program. We have a health education program that Shannon Titus teaches, and we had 7 newly certified nurse assistants by the end of last year. So Shannon actually goes out to the nursing home where those nursing assistants are working and is on the job with them as well as in the classroom with them. Valerie Robinson, who is our work-based learning teacher, goes out into the workplace where the students are doing their work-based learning and talks to those employers and tries to problem solve with those employers if they're, you know, if the student isn't showing up or if, you know, something like that.
You're talking about pretty basic stuff, though.
Right,
Showing up on time, working all day, having a good attitude toward the job.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So we try to build that into our internships and our work-based learning so that there's at least a semester there where the student is not just out there working, but their teacher is checking on them and saying, okay, is this student showing up every day? Are they showing up on time? You know, they're calling in sick all the time. Then that's a problem area.
More news later on 6 is coming up in a moment.
Russell Barnett Hometown Auto Rental has proudly served your auto rental for over 30 years. Check out this huge selection to choose from. Small car, mid-size car, full-size car, crossover vehicle, SUV, minivan, pickup trucks, 12 and 15 passenger vans. Whether big or small, Russell Barnett Hometown Auto Rental has them all. Stop by our 2 locations to serve you, Tullahoma and in Winchester. And remember, my question is, why rent anywhere else?
We're losing it, Doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation. It's gonna be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor too when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
Welcome back. Brandon Perry is the latest Tullahoma honorary alderman. Let's watch as he is introduced to the board.
Very pleased that joining us tonight is young man Brandon Perry. Brandon is a very diverse individual in that he's accomplished so much. He has a 4.578 GPA. He's in the top 5 of his class. He's in dual enrollment at Montclair State Community College. Listen to some of these AP classes, honors classes: AP Calculus 2, AP Calculus, AP U.S. History, AP English Language, Honors Physics, and Honors Chemistry. Whoa. Pretty impressive. He has a 2nd degree black belt. Did you hear that, Mr. Mathis? So don't aggravate him tonight.
Yeah, but see, I got a 1st degree. Yeah. No, that's great, though. That took some time, didn't it?
Mr. Perry has earned won multiple math competitions. He's an officer of the Key Club, Mu Alpha Theta, as well as a member of the National Honor Society, National English Honor Society, Student Council, and Mayor's Youth Council. He's also a volunteer in our community. He's involved in the Senior Citizens Prom, animal shelter drives, food banks, and more. So, Brandon, that's very, very impressive. So, what are you're a senior at Tullahoma High School?
I'm a senior.
So, tell us what you're considering after graduation.
Well, I've always been interested in technology, so I want to go into computer science because it pays well and it's in very high demand right now. I mean, it's always interested me. And I'm thinking about going to UAH primarily because I've heard that from multiple sources that they have a very good computer science program. And with my scores, I already have a full ride with board there. But I'm also considering things like University of California and like the Institute of Technology of California, where the big tech industries are, where like the education is good. And I'm also like thinking more local around like Auburn or UT Knoxville as well.
Pretty impressive young man. Now, but you've not heard all of it yet. Now, you would think with all of that very challenging school work that he does, there's no way he could find time to work, right? So, he has 2 jobs. So tell us about those 2 jobs and about how many hours a week you work.
So I work at Taco Bell for first job, fast food, for about 25 hours a week, and then I work at JCPenney 10 hours a week, and then I also mow 3 yards a week.
Whoa! What are you doing in your spare time?
Working full time.
Oh, that's it. Supposed to bring in. I think you have some family with you tonight.
I have my mom and dad, Darren and Carolee Perry, as many of you know.
Yeah. So welcome, everyone. So congratulations, Brandon. We appreciate you being with us tonight. In a few minutes, we'll be doing our reports, and if you have anything that you'd like to report on, we'll recognize you. If not, that's fine too, but we appreciate you being with us and being such an outstanding young man. So if you'll stand there at your desk, we'll get a picture of you receiving the certificate.
And don't forget to tune into this week's Living Show tonight at 6:30 p.m., Thursday morning at 9 a.m., and Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evening at 6:30 p.m. This week's guests include Eddie Smith from the Lions Club, who will come by to tell us about the local organization's work to help prevent blindness. Laurel Stone will invite everyone to give and receive needed children's furniture and supplies, and we'll also speak with the new director of the Tullahoma Arts Center. All that and more on this week's Living.
Stay with us. We'll have your weather forecast right after these messages.
It's football time in Tennessee, and nobody tackles the competition like the Russell Barnett Automotive family. With 6 different locations, 8 new car franchises, over 1,000 new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from, a certified collision center with lifetime paint guarantee, Russell Barnett Hometown Auto Rental. Let our family exceed your expectations at the Russell Barnett Automotive family. And remember, why buy anywhere else?
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family, caring for your family since 1932.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this day. Our record high was in 1983 at 100 degrees. The record low was in 1991 at 53 degrees. The average high on this day is 86 and the average low is 65. Cloudy weather in the forecast for tonight with a low of around 67. Partly cloudy weather expected on Wednesday with a high of 84 and a low of 61. And mostly sunny weather coming back into the forecast on Thursday with a high of 82 and a low of 60.
And Jim, I want to let everyone in the community know and extend an invitation to London's Bar and Grill on Saturday, August 25th. We are having what we're calling Miracles from Monica. Monica is a longtime employee of London's and a tremendous mother, sister, and dear friend of ours who's going through some bad health issues right now. And they're going to be having silent auctions from 2 to 11 p.m. With a live auction at 7 p.m. And also kind of neat, they're going to be having an old school Nintendo street fighting game tournament. That's a $10 entry fee if you'd like to sign up for that. And of course, all the proceeds go to help out dear Monica in her time of need. So, you know, good thing for the community to get together and help out one of our own.
Exactly right, Andrew. That's a great cause, and we hope you folks will stop by and help them out with the donation.
Please do. Mm-hmm.
And that's our newsletter report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10 for News Leader on 6. You have a good evening.
Have a great evening.